Okay, so today we're gonna talk about hair loss. Human and animals. Now, have you noticed, because it's summer, have you noticed the hair on the brush here? And I've been brushing him. Why do you think that hair loss happens in the summer? And sometimes it actually happens in the winter as well. Well, today we're gonna study this, and I'm gonna show you through my discoveries. Okay, so now this is my dog, right? And yes, he can teach us a lot of things, and this is one of them. His hair happens shredding, they call it, in the summer. But what is the real reason? Summer equal massive radiation. And also he goes out. Now observe this. If your dog goes out a lot in the summer, you will eventually see a lot of shredding. And if the dog stays out in the summer, you will see lots of it. Why? Because of the hair follicles. Yes, this video is all about hair follicles and how hair loss actually happens. Now, let's start it with the human. Okay, now we have a human. There are two very popular spots on a human's head, right? One is right up here, right? And two, it's right back here. Why is that? Why there's always those two popular things? Okay? Now, beside people who go through chemotherapy, I'll cover that in a second. People go through chemotherapy. It's a little bit different, right? They lose everything. But normal people lose here and here. Sometimes the whole ring around here. And those are the extra sensitive. And yes, you can actually tell how your sensitivity are or is to radiation by the bald spot itself. Believe it or not. Yep. So anyone who is out there seeing this video and you're going to see your hair loss, that means you are EMF sensitive and you're able to tell how much sensitive you really are. Now let's start talking about chemotherapy. Okay, so we're gonna start with chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is what they are doing. They are bombarding the person's body, anywhere, with radiation, right? But we know from my channel about radiation, what happened? Well, radiation comes to a decay, right? We study that in a few videos, and I'll leave a link. Anything to do with this video, I'll leave a link right up here for you. Okay? So when a person goes through a chemotherapy, the radiation or the particles, decay particles, stuck in their body. And what happened? They sit a lot. They have to stay up a lot. The people who goes through chemotherapy stays up a lot. And what happened? It escaped through the head. Well, let's get back to the dog for a second. It does the same thing. The dog absorbs it, the radiation. About 6 hours or so, the radiation leaves. Where does it leave? It leaves through his hair. So when it leaves through his hair, it leaves his follicle weak. So by having weak follicles, radiation escape, and it got weaker and weaker, and you got hair falling out. Here's another example for you. Your arms. What happened when you go out in the cold? Your hair raises. How in the world a hair raise? Your hair cannot be raised. I'm sorry, because there's no muscle there. I'm sorry to tell you, there's no muscles in the hair. But how can the hair raise? You got it. It's radiation and decay radiations leaving. So when you go out in the cold suppress it. During that moment, the hair will raise up because radiation is being suppressed. So cold and hot is what create hair raising. Okay, now let's talk about EMF sensitivity. Remember, there's no such thing. With this video, you can actually tell what your EMF sensitivity level is. By your hair, yes, another way to tell. Or when you go out in the cold. Some people go out in the cold, the hair doesn't raise, the goosebump doesn't go up. Right? There you go, you got your answer. So if you have hair raising up, that means you are EMF sensitive. And then you'll be able to know what's the level 2. If you go out in just few seconds and then you suddenly get really cold, that's even further of understanding right there. Now, here's a tip for you. I hope you find this video a little sooner. That way, you don't lose your hair. Remember, don't let it be too late. Now, for the people who lost their hair, they're going to ask a question. Can it grow back? The simplest answer, why his hair grows back and some people don't. It's depend. His is ionized radiation. Fake radiation, where people go through chemotherapy, it actually escapes faster than ionized. So it actually that would be more harmful than the sun's ionized radiation. But here's the thing. Yes, you can help, because this will be the first video in the world to say that yes, you can help hair loss, but don't let it be too late. All you need is the Wonder Bracelet. Regulate it. Help it to remove out of your body so it doesn't leave up here for the sensitive people. With the help of the bracelet here, you are preventing it to escape up to your head. So that way you don't get hair loss or follicle loss. Okay, remember that. It's the follicle or the root. Imagine if you pick out a plant, like let's say there's a plant out on the street somewhere, and you break it, it will grow back. But if you pull the root, it will never grow back. Simple as that. Well, the same thing happened to hair. Same principle. With the help of this, you'll be able to prevent. Remember this word, prevent. Decay, radiation decay, to escape up here or here. And it also helped with people with chemotherapy too. I will link that video up here when I make it. Okay? And all you have to do is wear this, and for the rest of your life, you will keep your hair. Okay? Now, right before I go, yes, these things will help. And it's called a Wonder Bracelet. It doesn't really do anything. It only removes radiation decay out of your body, or low out of your body. So when you put it on, right, you would have it escape here instead of up on your head. And that's how you prevent hair loss or baldness. And yes, this is the first video in the world to explain something like this. And I hope you find it, because if you find it, you won't have hair loss. Okay? Extra sensitive maybe lose a little bit, but they won't have hair loss. Hair loss is through radiation. And yes, that is part of my discovery. And no one in the world, the best doctor, the best physicist, still have not figured this out yet. Okay? And I hope you find this video. I hope you will find this video, because if you find this video, you can prevent hair loss. Yes, hair and hair loss can be preventable if you learn how to regulate. So all you have to do is learn how to regulate. It will do many things, I promised. Not only that, it will help you with your hair loss as well. Okay? Anything else, I will leave it in the descriptions. But now you know how a dog hair lost in the summer, and your hair lost, and also too hair raised, and also people who lost their hair in chemotherapy. It is all because of low radiation and decay radiation. Okay? Other than that, that's about it on this video. I will see you in the next video.